Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Andy Madison. Central Massachusetts is preparing for bitter and cold and potentially record-setting cold temperatures this weekend. Here's a look at Worcester earlier this evening. Temperatures only in the teens this evening, and the wind chill made it feel like it was even colder. And that is just the beginning. This is a look at downtown Worcester. A wind chill warning is being issued for parts of Worcester County this weekend. Sub-zero temperatures are being forecasted in the city tomorrow night. The cold weather may have been to blame for a pipe burst at Prouty High School. As our Olivia Lemon shows us, the school sent students home early as they investigate what happened.
There was water pouring out of a pipe. There was ceiling tiles all over the ground. There was mold everywhere. It was like the room was trashed.
Students say a burst pipe at Prouty High School made a mess of the school Friday. Students sent us these pictures to show some of the damage.
We went and checked it out, and it just kind of was really flooded, and it was dripping down to the second floor.
We couldn't do our schoolwork because our books were soaked.
Students say they were never told by administration what was going on and had to find their replacement classrooms on their own.
We walked to the room that was next door to it just to see, and that's where our teacher was set up. So we went and we asked her. She was like, you should call your parents. It's not safe to be here. The school's not going to tell you to, but it's a horrible condition right now.
It's unclear what caused the pipe to burst, but the chairman of the school committee says it appears a heating unit in the school had been tampered with.
It appears at this time that it's a form of malicious destruction that may end up being referred to the police department for an investigation.
Kevin Hayes says students were sent home early so crews could come in and clean up the mess.
A heat is back up and running. It was within an hour, so there was no issue other than the fact that cleanup was going to go on and we had to get the kids out of the building.
Students say today's incident is one of many issues the school is dealing with.
I hope they can really pay attention to our needs that we need at the school, fix things, get them to how they're supposed to be running.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
School officials expect the school will be open as scheduled next week. This weekend's chilly temperatures could be record-setting. The wind chill also could make it feel like it is 15 or 20 degrees colder than it actually is. Sub-zero temperatures can also cause frostbite and hypothermia to expose skin in a short amount of time. Our Patricia Nicholas spoke with experts to get tips on how to stay warm if you need to be outside this weekend.
Dangerously low temperatures are forecast for this weekend. The Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency are among those warning residents to bundle up. And residents say they're not happy about it.
I hate having to bundle up. I hate the blistering winds, and it's just not for me.
I'm keeping extra bundled up. I mean, it's just nothing really you can do about it. Mother Nature in New England's very bipolar.
With wind chill, the temperatures could dip into the negatives. Dr. Stephen Bird says people are more susceptible to frostbite and hypothermia. He says the body's first response will be shivering.
If you are shivering, that means you're not adequately warm enough. And if possible, then going inside and warming up before going back out is important.
The Auburn Fire Department says with the expected frigid temperatures, people will sometimes do unconventional things to stay warm while indoors. Fire Chief Stephen Coleman says there are certain things people should not do.
Alternative heating sources such as the oven in their home to stay warm, which not only presents a fire hazard, but it also creates a potential carbon monoxide problem.
Chief Coleman says if people are in need of a place to stay warm, they can call their local emergency services.
See if there's a warming station or warming site that you can go to. It's just not worth it if you don't have the protection.
Patricia Nicholas, Worcester News Tonight.
The cold can also put a freeze on mobile devices. Cell phones are among the devices that can be damaged if left outside for too long. Freezing temperatures can hurt battery power. Snow can also cause water damage to a phone. Those we spoke with say it's best to limit how long you have your phone for when you're outside in the cold.
Some things you got to be careful of is maybe in your vehicle where it gets extreme cold, maybe you forget your device in the car. There's some risk for your device, which could include there may be condensation buildup in the device, maybe the screen could crack from the extreme cold, and also extreme battery drainage.
The chilly temperatures may have some heading south for warmer weather. But this week, however, thousands are just glad to be back on land after a cruise ship they were on almost got stuck in a bad storm at sea. A Holden couple was among those on board, forced to cut their vacation short, and they spoke with us about the conditions on the ship.
Really rough around noontime.
The Wiggins say the first sign of danger came on Sunday.
We had a vent under our closet door and water just was gushing like a waterfall.
Pouring out of that.
Like I was like, we're in trouble. Like that's a lot of water.
On a cruise toward the Bahamas, Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas hit a storm just off the coast of North Carolina. The Wiggins were among thousands of passengers on board. They were forced to stay in their rooms while the storm hit.
Stuff started to come off the counters. Like we had baby food and all that stuff on the little desk. That all came flying off.
15 hours they stayed in their room as the storm's big waves rocked the cruise ship. These photos show some of the damage caused by heavy winds.
It was a huge boat. Like if we were on a smaller boat, we definitely probably would have been dead.
With another storm approaching, the crew decided to turn around and head back north. It was the couple's first time on a cruise with their 9-month-old daughter, Sophia, who they say slept through most of the storm.
We took turns holding her, and then I would say probably at midnight, 1 o'clock, we had a little bassinet with us that we put her in, and then we took turns staying up to watch just to make sure she was okay.
The crew did such a good job. Like in the middle of it, our cabin steward came, knocked on our door. Are you guys all set? Yeah. Is the baby okay?
Now, the Wiggins were reimbursed for that cruise, and they, in fact, have already booked another cruise for next year. They've been on several cruises, they said, and this one, the next one they booked, they will get 50% off because of what happened. Well, a school bus driver was in court today after allegedly driving drunk with students on board. The incident happened Thursday in Dudley. Our Tim McCone has the story.
42-year-old Scott Poirier faces a judge Friday. After missing a drop-off, the school bus driver crashed into a utility pole on Hayden Pond Road in Dudley.
Our officers responded up there with members of the fire department and the ambulance service. They noticed the bus had appeared to have backed up into a utility pole and broke the pole off.
None of the 11 children were injured, but when officers began speaking with Poirier, they quickly realized something wasn't right.
In conversations with the driver, they detected some odor of alcohol on him, and they conducted some sobriety tests, and as a result of the information they formed, he was placed under arrest.
Poirier faces multiple charges, including OUI. He works for First Student, which is contracted by the school district. A new driver has already replaced him on the route. The superintendent for the Charlton Dudley School District released a statement Friday saying, in part, a full review is underway along with appropriate disciplinary action. We are also working with them to review policies and procedures.
I just hope the individual gets himself some assistance with whatever is needed. We're glad nobody was hurt.
Poirier pleaded not guilty Friday and was released on personal recognizance and ordered to wear a monitoring bracelet.
That was our Tim McCone reporting. The Assumption College community lends support to refugees tonight. At its annual prayer for the Christian community, students collected items for area refugees. The service included religious leaders from different Christian churches in Massachusetts. Worcester has one of the largest refugee populations in the state. Those in attendance say the items they collected will help those coming to Massachusetts for a better life.
Actually, what's already arrived here this evening is actually quite surprising. Several bags, boxes, and baskets of all kinds of toiletries and personal items.
Our job as a community is to reach out our hands and welcome them, to learn from them, to understand them, and to walk beside them long after our official services have ended.
A military family gets a new home thanks to Habitat for Humanity. The Ewing family was selected as the first Veterans Build family. They received a new home. A 4-bedroom single-family house on Kendig Street was made possible due to an anonymous donor. Mark Ewing is a 4-year Marine Corps veteran and says his family is forever thankful.
You know, our kids, we have 3 kids with autism, so now they'll have like a forever home. So it's really, it means a lot to my family.
Mark says his old home was on a busy street in Worcester, making it hard for his children to enjoy the outdoors. This new location is right next to a playground.